Hi guys, what do you do? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Basically today we have a hair tutorial and we're just going to jump into it. My hair is currently wet and prepped to go into braids, as you can tell from the moisture on my hands. We're going to be using this hair pomade throughout the braiding process. Wow. Anyway, I already did some at the back. As you can see, the patterns are not exactly the best, and that is completely fine. It is the back, and I personally don't stress too much about the back because nobody can see it. But if you want straight up patterns, put a mirror behind you and one in front of you so you can see what you're doing at the back. Now we'll pattern a line to work with, and we're going to put the rest up in a bun so that does not disturb me. I'm applying my pomade for moisture, and now we're basically going to part a section of the line. I usually work in box patterns, so that's what I'm trying to achieve here. I try to make it as straight as possible, even if it's not going to be the straightest, because that's just a personal thing that I like to do. Do whatever you like to do. If you want to work in triangle patterns, feel free to do that. Now I am going ahead to braid the hair, and basically I hope most people know how to braid, but basically what braiding is dividing the section into 3 different strands, or it's not exactly strand, but you get what I mean. I'm putting them over each other or underneath each other. So those 3, one after the other, you put them underneath or over the top of each other. I tend to do underneath most of the time because that's just easier and faster for me. But there are a lot of people that prefer doing it over the top of the strands. And we're just going to braid all the way to the ends. And at the end, we're going to try to twist it just so we can like have the hair in a braiding process all the way to the end. Because if I just braid to the end, it's going to get puffy at the end, and I don't really like that. But I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about real soon. To turn it into 2 strands twist, I'm basically going to take one of the 3 strands that we're using to braid, and I'm going to divide it into the other 2. It's not necessarily strands, but like the sections. Yeah, that. Anyway, I'm going to do another one so you guys can understand it better. Divide the hair into 3 sections and place them underneath each other like I'm doing right now. And as you can tell, that pattern is not exactly the best. It's looking rather ugly, but that's okay. Like I keep saying, it's at the back. We're just going to braid all the way to the end. I fast forwarded this part because it's basically the same as the last one. We just keep putting them underneath each other. I'm going to show you guys the twist right now. If you notice, I'm going to take one strand of, like, not strand, but one section of the 3 sections that I'm using to braid, and I'm going to divide it into the other 2. And then I can twist the ends. If you like more definition of your curls, you could use your hand to curl it like I'm doing right now. So we just keep doing that for the whole hair. We keep going until we get to the very last braid. So I'll come back with my voiceover when we get to the very last braid.
AK Marv produced it.
Okay guys, so now we are on the very last braid, and I'm just going to say the steps again. Divide the parted hair into 3 sections and start to place them underneath or over each other. I am doing underneath because I'm just more comfortable with that, like I said before, and I keep going that same way until I get to a point where I feel like I shouldn't braid any longer. I just use my eye to eyeball it, but if you can't braid all the way to the end, do that. I know I said something different earlier on, but if you could braid all the way to the end, do that. I just personally don't like the puffy look that I get at the ends if I do braid all the way to the end. That's why I twist it. So now that we are at a fair point in the end, I have divided one section into the other two, and I am now twisting it. And that's it basically for the braids. Hi guys, it is actually the next day. Yesterday I was looking ratchet, please ignore that. Today we basically have our braids done and we're gonna put beads on them. I actually got the beads today. So what we got are these beads, $1.99. It's just black, transparent and white. And I got 2 packs of that. This one is already open. I did that. I got this small pack, was cheaper than the other ones, just in case the 2 was not gonna be enough. So we're gonna put this. Typically when you buy beads from the beauty store, it usually comes with something that helps you put the beads in your hair, but this bead did not come with that. And luckily I have a tiny crochet pin. The other that I'm going in is white, transparent, black, transparent, white. Basically the first bead, I put that inside and then I pull the hair from that. Black rubber bands, the tiny ones, so I'm gonna use that to wrap it. And what I do basically for each strand is that I just use one, the last bead at the bottom, and then I use that rubber band to tighten it. And I make sure it's not too thick, because if it's then too thick at one point, then you can't like overlap the beads over the band. So I make it like go up. I don't know how to explain it. I make it as slender as possible. Okay, and then I pull the beads. No. Okay guys, so I'm almost done halfway. My hair is not like staying down because it was packed into this, but like overnight I'm going to tie it down just so it stays down. But right now I'm giving very much spider. I think I'm gonna change like the pattern for this side. So we're gonna start with a black, and I'm gonna do black, transparent, white, transparent, black.
AK Marv produced it.